everyone, and welcome to Touch Base Thursday for July 1st. I'm not sure how we got there, but it is July already. Just crazy when you think about it. So I'm just going to give this a moment for all of you to find me live before I get started with my presentation for tonight, and then we will get started here. So if you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello. And let me know that you are live with me, and we will get started again in about 2 minutes. Hi Philomena, welcome. I had lots of information to share with you tonight. First of all, I missed you all very much last week. I thought about, I knew my video was being posted as I was up north in northern Michigan. And I'm like, oh, my video just posted. I wonder who's watching it. So I would really, really love to have your feedback on what you thought of that. I mean, I know it wasn't the same as going live with all of you, but I did, have that video post right at 7 o'clock to YouTube, and I had the link shared. Thank you, Natalie. You guys can go. Had the link shared right to my Facebook page, my Facebook group, for you guys to be able to watch a video. So I would love to know what you thought of that, and if it's something that you think I should do again, because there may be a week in July that I'm also going to be gone on a mini vacation with my mom, and so I will probably do the same thing if it was something that you guys enjoyed. So just give me your feedback on it. Oh, good, Philomena. I'm glad that you still liked it. Like I said, I know it wasn't the same as not being live with you all, but it was the next best thing that I could do. Hi to Maureen and Patty and Shireen and Kay. Hello, ladies. Okay, so I have lots of information to share with you guys today. It has been a crazy week or so here for us. One of the things that I didn't mention to all of you until we knew what was going on, but my daughter-in-law Nicole hurt her foot. She had a trailer tongue fall on it, and so she has been needing help with Chloe over the last couple weeks. But happy to say I went with her today to her appointment. They were able to remove the stitches all around her toe. She did have to have her toenail removed. They're going to check it out for nerve damage in a couple of weeks. But we've had that to contend with, in addition to my girls have had a dance camp all this week in the afternoon, so trying to get them there and back. And then the big news is I now have an official driver in the house. So Natalie passed her driving test yesterday, and we took her in to get her level 2 permit just today at 5 o'clock. So she is now driving. Will be able to drive by herself. Please say a prayer for me, because it was a hard time when Matt was doing that at the beginning. But she did it, and so she now has her own license, and we just got back a little while ago from the Secretary of State. I was so surprised. I don't know about in other states, but here in Michigan, we have to make appointments. And for during the whole COVID time, a lot of times good luck getting an appointment. But I went on late in the day yesterday, and they had an opening for today at like 10 to 5, and so we nabbed it. So anyway, so that was one of the things I did today. And then, like I said, I went with Nicole to her appointment. She asked me to go with her. So this happened 2 weeks ago to Nicole. And she ended up in the ER getting it checked out and looked at, stitched up. And so yeah, we're just thankful that she didn't lose her toe. It was a pretty bad injury that she got on her toe. So anyway, but they did end up removing part of the stuff today, and she's hobbling around and doing better. We're just hoping there's no permanently nerve damage to her toe. So anyway, just thought I would share that with all of you, since it was something that's a lot of different things going on. And then the other thing that I did for us, so I am a huge Elton John fan. And I splurged, since we have not been able to go to any concerts or musicals, and we are big musical people. I purchased Elton John tickets today for my family. So my husband and I and the 2 girls, which I'm not sure if my husband's going to be thrilled to go with us, but it's not till next summer. But we are going to see Elton John. So it's been, like I said, a crazy busy week for me, but really excited to be able to see him perform. And so anyway, and again, those of you that are joining me a little bit late, if you watched my YouTube video last week that I posted at 7 o'clock instead of my Facebook Live, please let me know what you thought of it. I'd love your feedback of what I could do different to improve. Did you think it was not worth it to have that where you could still at least watch a video? Philomena loved it. So again, I would love your guys' input on that. And I will tell Natalie that you guys are telling her congratulations. So she's still nervous to drive. She doesn't like to drive, but I told her she will be just fine. Okay, so with that, I had to go back and look at my new Philomena. Yes, I'm telling you, I love Elton John. I had to go back and look at my video from 2 weeks ago to find out what I was going to be offering you guys as your 2 goodies this week, because I cleaned off my table and I put them back away and forgot to put them in. I have a certain spot where I put my Facebook Live project prizes. So I had to go back and find them. So anyway, they were the black organdy ribbon and the gray granite ribbon. And so I have 2 winners of the ribbon. So the winner of the gray granite ribbon is Marilyn Squirker. So congratulations to Marilyn. Marilyn, I'll get that out in the mail to you. And then the winner of the black organdy ribbon is Chris Thigpen. So congratulations to Chris and to Marilyn. Okay, so thank you, Donna. I'm glad you still liked the video. I know it was kind of weird, but I will tell you, I was sitting in front of the beach looking at our Mackinac Bridge, which is about 2.5 hours north of us, and the video posted, and I said to my girls, oh my gosh, they're my video, because I had it all pre-scheduled to go out. It was pretty awesome. So like I said, I'll probably be doing that more often on the few occasions that I'm not able to go live with you guys. Okay, so up for grabs this week, I have a bolt of the Early Espresso ribbon, and then this is an item that's on back order right now. So this is a hot item, but you guys, someone's gonna win it. It is the Expressions in Ink Inferia pack. So this is it looks like it's white, but it's actually all like gold pieces that are inside of here, and it goes with the Expressions in Ink bundle. Like I said, it's on back order right now, but someone's gonna win that next week. So I will make sure they get put in the Facebook bin so that I don't have to go digging and looking at my video to see what I promised for my goodies. Okay, so a couple other things about my vacation. So we just went up to our, up north of Michigan. We have a bridge that connects those of you that might not know Michigan, it connects our lower peninsula and our upper peninsula. We just went up there by the water. We went to a zoo. We went, the girls did some zip lining. We played putt-putt golf. It was just a couple fun days. And so it was just fun. It was nice to get away for a couple days. We rented a house up there, so we had tons of room, like a little cabin type thing. So anyway, it was really, really nice. So, but I did miss you guys on Thursday. It was really weird not being live with you. A few things that I wanted to talk to you about regarding the month of July. So I do still have openings for bingo. I think I have only 2 openings left. That is a week earlier. It is July 14th. So if you have not registered yet and you want to, make sure that you do that. And then tonight's presentation, you guys are going to love. It is using the Plentiful Plants bundle. It's actually one, if Shelby watches on later tonight or on replay, if she's not live with me, it's the one that she asked me about last week. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's the one I had planned for you guys this week. So it's actually a class that's open for registration right now. So if it's a class that you want to receive in the mail, I have the option is there for you to purchase the stamp set or the stamp set and the dies. The option is also there for you to add in the ink pads. I only used, I think, 2 or 3 colors of ink on this class. The other way you can get your hands on a few of these cards, you'll receive 3 of them in the mail completed with a free embellishment. If you order by Sunday night on a $35 order, if you just go to kimsbasementbunch.com, there's an order link right there, or you can message me your order as well. My other July classes that just opened up are Turtle and Friends. So I'm doing a turtle class. And then there is, I'm trying to remember what they are. They just opened up. What else am I doing in July? I'm drawing a blank right now, but they all 3 just opened up. I'm actually doing a Christmas in July using the Tidings of Christmas bundle in the annual catalog. So I usually kick off Christmas. I know you guys are saying, Kim, it's only July 1st, but I do kick off Christmas in July. I have in the 11 years of me being a demonstrator. So if you need lots of Christmas cards, there's a Christmas card option for you to purchase in July. And then the other one, I just can't think off the top of my head of what it is. Oh, it's the Color and Contour bundle. So it's some really pretty pretty cards using the Color and Contour bundle. And then I have the one you're seeing tonight, and I think there's one more. There's usually 5 of them that are open. So anyway, with that, I'm looking at my list going, I don't know if I have anything else to share with you. Just lots of, today was a crazy busy day. So it feels good to actually just be able to sit here for a couple of minutes and be live with you all and talk to you a little bit, because I've been on the go with the trip. So Nicole's doctor's appointment was half an hour away, and then I had to come back, and then I had to pick up the girls from babysitting and take them to dance and come back home, try to work a little bit, go pick them up from dance, come home. It's just been crazy. And then Natalie had her appointment for her license. So anyway, but it's nice that my kids can now cook for me and I didn't have to worry about dinner. So okay, so with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area, and we are going to get started. I actually whipped together a 3D project, literally whipped it together. It's not even glued together the greatest because I didn't use the right adhesive just to have it together to show you, because I had an idea with a piece of the paper that's in this product suite, and so I had to show you a neat way in which you could use it. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down and let's have some fun. So again, this class is an option in July. So if you're interested in the class, just let me know and I can make that happen and get you guys the registration link. Okay, it'll also be posted in the description of the video at the very top when I'm done as well. Okay, so with that, I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area, and I am going to have you guys get a little sneak peek of what you're going to be seeing me make tonight and the products that I'm going to be showcasing. And then I'm going to out of your way here in just a couple of minutes, and we are going to get started. Okay, so there they all are. I'm going to move them all out of your way. And so the first thing I want to talk to you about is the products that I used to make the projects that I'm going to be showcasing. So let me straighten my area up. Okay, so thank you, Philomena. So this product suite, I'm going to be completely honest, did not catch my eye when I first saw the catalog. But after playing with this product suite, I'm here to tell you this product suite is probably the most on-trend product suite in this catalog. Everywhere you look, you see succulents and plants that look like this. It is perfect and on trend. So this is called the Bloom Where You're Planted bundle for $65. Now I can tell you one of the products is on back order. It's this paper lattice, but I'm going to show you it. But for $65, it includes the stamp set with coordinating dies, and I'll bring them out here in just a little bit and show you them in more detail. And it showcases the Bloom Where You Were Planted Designer Series paper, and then the paper lattice. Now I also paired in with this, because I thought they kind of went nice, some of the Genial Gems. So I encourage you, when you're working with products and things, to think outside the box of other things that you can use. So these gems go with the hand penned bundle, but I used it on this one because I feel the two colors kind of match perfectly to go with that. So I encourage you to kind of look at other products as well that you maybe can use with a certain specific bundle or product suite. So with that, let me show you the stamp set and dies in a little bit more detail and the designer series paper. And then we'll get started and I'll show you what I actually created for you all. Okay. Oh, thanks you guys. My nails. Yes. So as I'm getting my products out, I'll tell you a little story about my nails. So I went to get them done yesterday. Again, crazy busy day. Wednesday and today were both busy. And I didn't know what I wanted. And Fong, who is my nail tech, says, he's such an awesome guy. He says, Fong, I don't know what I want today. I didn't even have time to look. And he says, Kim, I got ya. And I went, okay. And I'm thinking, okay, that usually means he's going to do something creative, and I don't know what to expect here. I need to get some magnetic sheets for my, I keep saying that. I need to get some magnetic sheets for my dies. But anyway, and then when he started putting the black on, he says, you're going to go black this week with your nail color. And I went, okay. He goes, oh, I'm going to put something on them, but I just wanted to give you a heads up so you wouldn't be surprised that it's going to be dark. And I'm glad he did, because I've never ever had black nail polish on. So, but I do like it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so these are the coordinating dies, and I'm going to use this little piece of white paper right here to kind of show you them. So you have all kinds. This is, I think, a wonderful one. This reminds me of when I was a kid. My mom used to have plants, and she actually had these on them, and had a like a plant stand and everything, which we accidentally knocked down a couple times, and it was a mess. But you have all these different dies that go with it, and the neat thing is that a lot of these dies coordinate with the different images in your stamp set. So here you have This one, you have a, let me get the rest of them out here. Sorry, I didn't use all of them, so you're not gonna see quite, you'll get the gist of it though. So you have one right here for the, what is that called? The pearl, I call it like the pearl. There's an actual name for that because my daughter told me. But you have one that cuts that out. You have ones that cut out the leaves. And then you have ones that cut out all the different sizes of pots. So you really have dies to cut out every single one of these images. These right here also get cut out with these. They go right here. So literally every single stamped image on this stamp set has a coordinating die to be able to punch it out. And I love that. Mine have already been very well used because I believe that we are already almost cut and prepped for this class. So in the class, I have it where you can get it with the optional stamp set. You can get it with the optional bundle. And then I only used, I think, 3 ink pads on it. I used Soft Succulent, I used Cajun Craze, and I used these Cinnamon Cider ink pads on this class. So the first thing, before I go any further, Designer Series paper. So these are the different patterns of the Designer Series paper. And the Designer Series paper, I love it too because all of those dies you can cut out, like this one right here, you can cut out with the die, and same with this one right here. So some of these images you can actually cut out with your dies. Hi, Courtney. And then you have this one right here. And then there's this one, same with this one, you can cut out with your dies all those different pots. I love it. And then this one right here, and you're going to see a card that I'm going to be making tonight where I absolutely cut out these out. Yes, I fussy cut these out. I don't mind fussy cutting though, because these don't have dies. You may have dies for some of the pots, but you kind of lose the different plants by just cutting out the pots. And then this one I don't have a lot of because I used it on one of my cards, but you have this awesome brick that looks so real. And then your last piece of paper, this is the one that you're going to see me use on a 3D project, but this was 12 by 12, and it's one of those, it's kind of designed where you can cut it in half, then you have this for like card bases. But I'm going to show you a different way that I used this to make a cute little what they call a 2, 4, 6, 8 box. Okay, on the back side of these papers, you have, again, very kind of like outdoorsy backgrounds. You have wood, you have brick, you have these awesome little leaves. You have this one I really like. It's like wood, but kind of like a birch look to it. And then this is what's on the back of the brick. And then on the back of the one that you're going to see me use here in just a couple minutes is kind of like the marble look. So great versatility of this paper. And then the other product that I wanted to share with you is the paper lattice. Now the paper lattice is what I believe might be on back order, but I love this paper lattice. And you get 10 of them in a pack for, let me see here how much they are, for $6. And the paper lattice, hi Kay. The paper lattice is just really awesome. It's kind of like a little bit heavier than paper, but not quite as heavy as cardstock. And what I liked about it is for me to be able to glue this, I just put a little bit of liquid glue in these solid little dots, and then that's how I adhered that down to my card, which I don't have liquid glue here, so I'll have to get some when I get to that point. I don't always use liquid glue, so I didn't get any out. But I felt like these really kind of made the cards just pop a little bit more. I'll leave those out because I'll be using them tonight. Okay, so the first project I'm going to share with you, and this is already falling apart because I did not use the right adhesive, is this adorable little, what I call a 2, 4, 6, 8 box. It's literally, you score it 2, 4, 6, 8. You put it together. I put a little bow on top of this little clip. Now this little clip they're old. Stampin' Up used to have these, but you can find clips on Amazon or any of your other stores. And inside of here, you can easily put some candy, some gum, anything that you would like, but it just makes a cute little gift to be able to give someone. And so I'm going to show you how easy it is to put this together. And what I liked about it was this Designer Series paper. It's a really great use of that Designer Series paper because I don't use much of the white. When I cut the strips, I just have the strips of paper. So I cut 4 of them. And I cut these 1 3/4 by 5. And the reason why I cut them 1 3/4 by 5 is because I scored my box at 2, 4, 6, and 8, which you're going to see me do in just a couple minutes. And then by cutting them at 1 3/4, it gives you the little border on the edge. Okay, so let me show you how I created this cute little box. I literally whipped this up like 10 minutes ago because I wanted to have a cute little 3D project, and I saw this paper and that's the first thing I thought of. So let me bring in my Stampin' Trimmer because I did not do any of the cutting of this so that I could show you guys it from start to finish. So let me move my inks out of the way. And I'm going to start with the 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on the, I do need to open this up, and I am going to leave it on the 8.5 side, because that's where we're going to do some scoring. So I'm leaving it on, not cutting anything off the 8.5 side, but on the long side, I'm going to cut this at 7.5, okay? So I'm going to have an 8.5 by 7.5 inch piece of cardstock, okay? Now I'm going to turn it back to the 8.5 inch side, and I'm going to literally score this at 2, 4, 6, and 8. That is why it is called a 2, 4, 6, 8 box. So we're just going to score it at 2, and I'm going to move it down and score it at 4, and then again, maybe I didn't do, yeah, 4, 6. I'm doing all right. I had to make sure I had my thing in the right place, and 8. Okay, so by scoring it at 2, 4, 6, and 8, I'm going to have a 1/4 of an inch left right here. Now I'm going to score it, or turn it to the 7.5 inch side, and I'm going to put that back inside of my trimmer, and I'm going to score this at the 2 inch mark, okay? Just at the 2. And now we can get the trimmer out of the way because we no longer need the trimmer. And what I'm going to do is I am going to actually glue my pieces of paper down to my box. So now the one thing I will tell you is that when you glue these down, because I was in a hurry, I did not make sure I had adhesive all the way on the corners. Because I did, now I wouldn't have to have folded the top like this. The box is designed, it could just be open completely, where you don't do that at all. But because I did fold it in kind of like a little milk carton, the paper has to be glued and secured really, really good. So you're gonna wanna make sure you get adhesive on around all of those sides. And you might even wanna use like a sticky strip if you're having any problems getting it to adhere with just your regular adhesive. So I'm just using the regular seal adhesive, and I'm just going around those edges, and I'm just going to adhere this down in here. Again, I just kind of thought this was a really neat use of the paper because that paper is kind of got all the patterns in it that you could really want. And I used soft succulent for my box itself. Now you could also use garden green, you could use just jade, you could use whisper white. They're all colors that are in that paper pack. I just chose to use this color because it was easy, and I already out for another project that I had. And I'm just kind of leaving, I'm following my score lines, but leaving that little bit of a 1/4 of an inch in there so that I've got space for that green, the soft succulent, to show through. But it's just a lot easier to adhere these panels down before you do any of your cutting. Okay, so now we are going to cut up on the score lines. And I'm just gonna score up on all of them, or cut up to that first score line. And I'm gonna actually cut off this little tab. We don't need this little tab on here at all, okay? And you're going to see how easy this box goes together. We're just going to fold at all of the score lines. So I'm folding at the 2, 4, the 6, and then the 8 is easier to go like that with. And then we're going to fold up on all of these as well. Again, so simple. Now, if you wanted your bag to be shorter, you could cut off more of this bottom part and have it be shorter. So it depends on how big you want your bag to be, okay? So you can kind of do as much or as little as you want. Now here you would probably want to use tear and tape. I'm just using adhesive, again, to keep it simple. And then on all these tabs, I'm going to add some adhesive because you're going to see how I'm going to fold all of those in. Again, tear and tape would probably be your better alternative. I'm just going to fold in all of these tabs, folding them all in on underneath each other, okay? And then what you can do is you can take a pair of scissors or something like that and go down here. A pen or something would be better, and make sure you adhere that really good down in there. And then this last piece gets folded inside, and you're just going to line up the seam, and you're going to glue it together. Again, you want to make sure you get a really good fold there, okay? So you could easily leave this box just like this and put things in it, decorate it however you want. But what I did, again, these clips are old retired clips that I had. You can get them from Amazon or any other store that you might like. I just literally took my fingers, I pushed in on the sides and brought this in like a milk can. And then I just kind of formed it a little bit, or I mean a milk jug, I should say. And then I just kind of formed these sides a little bit. And then all I did was clipped this shut. And there you have a cute little 2-4-6 box that you can whip together pretty fast. From there I added a bow using, and my soft succulent is stuck under my computer, so bear with me here. From there I just added a little bow of the soft succulent ribbon. So I'm just gonna make a little bow here with this. And I adhered that onto the top with a glue dot, okay? Again, quick, simple, easy. I really let all of the paper be my shining star on this box, okay? And then I'm just going to trim off those edges. And I'm glad you guys like this project. And hi, Chris. Chris, you probably, if you're just joining in, you probably don't know yet that you are one of my winners from my sharing my video from 2 weeks ago. So you'll be getting a bolt of ribbon in the mail. So congratulations. Okay, and then I just put this little bow up here with a glue dot. And then the final thing I did was added the thank you to this. And for that, I used my soft succulent ink. And I used my little thank you. Now this thank you comes right out of the Potted Plants stamp set. So it is part of that. So there's my thank you. And I'm going to cut that off as a little banner. Thank you, Donna. I always love Donna's encouragement. Donna knows that 3D projects and they kind of stress me out. They're not my favorite. I shouldn't say they're not my favorite thing to do. I don't feel as confident doing them. So I wish I felt more confident. So I'm making myself do them more often. I hope you guys have noticed that. And I'm getting a little bit more confident as I go with that. Okay, now because my box or my banner piece for this is bigger than the box, sometimes it's easy to want to put like your dimensionals on the end, but you can see how on my sample here it hangs over. So I found it easier to put the dimensionals directly onto the box because that way I know that I'm not going to have that hanging over. And then I'm just going to put my thank you on there. Now I could also add some gilded gems or something like that on here as well, but I kind of liked it just like that for a cute little box for all kinds of different things that you might want to do. So anyway, I hope you like that cute little 3D project. Again, you could change the size just by cutting the paper down a little bit further, but it's a quick and simple 2-4-6-8 box. Really quick and simple. Now, this is also a box. You'll get it filled with goodies for anybody who puts in a minimum $35 order with me tonight. You're going to get 3 of the cards I'm featuring already made for you, so already finished projects. This I'll have to ship to you flat, but it will be finished, and you'll have a little surprise of an embellishment that will be inside of that little box. Okay. So let's move right along to our cards for this evening. Again, I'm loving this potted say that fast. Plentiful Plants stuff. It is just awesome. Let me see what card I have on my pile first. So let's get started with, this one. This one's probably one of my favorites. This one right here. Love it. So yeah, those clips are everywhere. I love those clips. So this is the card that we're going to be showcasing first. Now there's a card in the catalog similar to this, which is where I got my inspiration. So I encourage you to also look at the catalog for different inspirational stuff as well. And this one, I used the cinnamon cider. I'm glad that I finally have more uses for cinnamon cider. Sometimes I felt like the cinnamon cider, even though it's a nice color, I didn't know how to use it because it's a color that wasn't in a lot of our product suites. So I'm really glad that this is in our catalog for us to be able to use, or in this product suite for us to be able to use. So this is 5.5 by 8.5, and then I have my layer of Just Jade that is 5 1/4 by 4, and this is why I didn't have much of the brick paper left is because I used a lot of it for this card. And like I said, we've got kits already being cut for this class. Registration is open for this class now. So if it's something that you're interested in, look for the link in the description of my video after I am done. But I've also been posting it to my page and my group and all of that. I then have another piece here of cardstock that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 of the Just Jade. And then I have a piece of the Whisper White that's 3 by 4. Now, to save me a little bit of time in advance of my video for tonight, I did stamp the greeting on the bottom that says "You were there and I am very grateful." I love that because I think this is a perfect card for somebody who maybe went out of their way for you or did something nice for you and you want to let them know that you appreciated it. And then I also stamped the little, it's pearl something to the card. Now, the neat thing is in advance, I also cut out all of this awesome stuff. So this is just one of the pots cut out with the cinnamon cider cardstock, and then the little awesome, there's a name for this, so if any of you know it, please let me know, but I call it kind of like the plant holder, but my mom I grew up with these. I really truly did. And then I stuck these behind here as well. But look at how this little element, string of pearls. Thank you, Janet. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And if you put that on the card strategically, you see those behind. So let me show you how we're gonna glue this all together. So these two are just gonna go together. Again, they're all cut strategically. Thank you again to Janet and Philomena. Yay, I knew it had a name, I just couldn't think of it. So, but I know that I grew up with them. My mom had them all the time. Okay, so I'm just gonna adhere this down. And I did not use any ribbon on these cards. I literally just used the paper Lattice and the Genial Gems. And I felt like it was, thank you, Kay. I'm glad you guys are all knowing what this is because I knew there was a name and I just couldn't think of it. And then, but like I said, the embellishments, you don't need a whole lot of them. I feel like with these dies, you get enough of what you need just by using the different pieces and parts and things. So I'm just going to, I put this on with dimensionals. So I put a dimensional in all 4 corners and then that went on in the middle. I do need to run and go get some liquid glue because I wasn't prepared with my liquid glue, because I'm going to show you how easy it is to assemble this little piece right here using some liquid glue. So let me go find some quick. I'm coming, I promise. Okay. Here we go. Liquid glue has been found. All right, so I used some Tombow glue for this. And all I did, again, a little bit of this glue, I know you've heard me say this many times, a little bit of this glue goes a long way. I literally put a little bit of this glue just kind of like in the little, where the crosses are, where the 2 different areas meet. And a little bit on the edge, not a lot. And then this will stick behind here perfectly, like that. And you just want to push it down pretty good. And then I did the same thing back here. I added a little bit of glue. Now you could also use glue dots, but I just felt like while I was already having the glue in my hand, it just made sense to just put these on as well with the liquid glue. You just got to hold them in place just for a couple of seconds. Okay, and then that whole thing, as it's sticking to me, is going to go down with dimensionals onto my card, and that is it. How simple and easy is that card? Again, I love these dies, and that cinnamon cider cardstock is just perfect, in my opinion, the perfect color for one of those pots. Just makes it just awesome. And we're just going to put that on here. And then I also found that it was worked really good to also put a little bit of adhesive on the back part right underneath the circle here to be able to, and I got a little too much because I couldn't see what I was doing. So you're going to see tons of glue there. But to put a little bit of adhesive right on that. So let me scrape some of this out of there because I wasn't paying attention and it's a brand new glue, but it'll dry. I'll get that off there. Okay, just because it works better to have that off there. I'm going to pick it up and use my hand at this point. There we go. All right. All better, all better. Okay, and then the last thing I did was topped this with some of those Genial Gems. So these are the Genial Gems. Again, I felt that even though this is not a product that goes with this bundle, I thought that it looked really, really nice with it and that it was a good fit. I put one up here in the middle of that. And then you can see I put one here on the very bottom down here too. So this one's gonna go down here, and then I have one that's gonna go over here, maybe. Oh, that one's, the adhesive didn't come with me. Let me get my one that with the adhesive that comes with it. There we go. Okay, so there you have the first card that I created with that product suite. Isn't that just cute? I love it. And it's so on trend right now with all of the different pots and plants and things that are out there. I know Claire right now is big into, my daughter Claire is big into succulents. We have like 7 different pots of succulents, and she's been giving them to different friends and things like that. So very, very popular and on trend right now. Okay, so the next card I'm going to share with you is this one right here. Love this one. This one is going to be showcasing for you that awesome paper lattice. Again, it just makes this kind of pop, doesn't it? Like, it just makes this card pop. Now, this is the paper that I mentioned has to be fussy cut. So I'd love to know, are you guys a fussy cutter, or would you rather use your dies to cut things out? I don't mind fussy cutting. Sometimes if I feel like being lazy and just sitting in my chair and not having to get up and, you know, crank the machine and whatever, I don't mind fussy cutting, but I'm just curious if you guys mind it or not. I know I've shared a couple little tips before with how to cut. Is I actually use the scissors don't move a whole lot. I move the paper, and that's what really kind of helps me have better control over what I'm cutting. So just kind of cutting around this little pot. And I was going to do these in advance, and I thought, no, I want you guys to see how quick and simple it is to cut these out. Patty, you hate the, that's funny. Yes, Patty, I know that you totally hate cutting. We were at an event one time, and Patty was there, and we were cutting something, and she didn't like it at all. But she did it. I remember, Patty, you did it. Okay. So, yep, Cindy, I'm with you. I don't mind it either. Now, this one, I used a different pot. So you can see here, this one was a different one from the paper sheet, and I'm using a different one. So that way I'm not wasting the other potted plants that are on that sheet of paper. So I'm just gonna cut this one out real quick. And I'm just cutting around these. Again, you can see how I'm moving the paper, not the scissors hardly at all. And it really gives me better control over my cutting, and it helps me be a little bit more, I would say, faster. So anyway, so I gotta tell you guys what my Facebook Live is for you all next week. Eek, I'm so excited. Hi Janie. Today was as a demonstrator, we were able to pre-order beginning today holiday catalog, or the new mini catalog products. And I did something that I do not do hardly ever. And I express shipped, I mean like overnighted express shipped my order, because I have a long weekend. I have Monday off with the holiday from my job, and I want to start designing classes for all of you for the month of August using new product. And so if I would have waited and not express shipped, I would not have had it until next week. And so I express shipped, and yeah, I cannot wait. So my video with you all next Thursday, it's going to be showcasing some products from that new catalog. So I hope you guys don't mind that. It's not going to be any kind of a stamping. I thought about doing a special night of a Facebook Live, but I know so many of you are trained to know that I'm live on Thursdays. So I didn't want to change that, and I didn't want you guys to not see that. So that's what we're going to be doing on Thursday next week. Okay, so for this one I used Whisper White for the card base, and then I have a layer of the Evening Evergreen 5 1/4 by 4, and then a piece of the Soft Succulent that's 5 by 3 3/4. And I used an embossing folder to emboss that, and I don't know the name of this one off the top of my head, but it's one of the new ones in the annual catalog, and I just thought it kind of went with the whole plant theme. And I'm just going to adhere those two together, so I'm just going to put some adhesive onto this, and I'm going to adhere that down to the Evening Evergreen piece. And then I'm going to adhere this down to my card. Again, no ribbon on any of my cards tonight. all just products from the suite. So here's where we're going to use that paper lattice. Now you can see that mine is not glued down all completely. I just have it glued down in spots because I just used the liquid glue and used the glue on. Now these are, you can kind of tell the front and the back. The back has, it kind of looks like it's more flat, kind of like your, I'm not sure how to explain it. This one's got a little bit more raised to it, but they're both the same color, so it doesn't really matter what you use. But I found it worked really good to just put adhesive in the little dots here in the center. So I'm hoping that you can see where I'm putting the adhesive. But I found that that worked the best for me to be able to adhere it down. And then I also added just a little bit here along the edge in spots. Just a real little bit. Whoops, I need to put some on those. Okay, so that's kind of what I did. Nothing too fancy with it. And then I adhered this down. Oh, there's a piece right here that needs to come out, so let me get that out of there, even though there's glue on it. So you want to make sure that your dies have all the little pieces out. And this is just going to get adhered down to my card, kind of in the center of this. And then I'm just going to use the back of my glue, or the bottom of my glue, to put that down. Voila, look how awesome that looks. So cool, right? Then I have a piece of my, this is cut 1 1/4 by, I think it's 1 3/4, no, 1 1/2, I believe, by about 2, and then 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. And what I did is I measured the size of my sentiment, and that's how I knew how big to just cut that. And those two are just going to get glued down. Now this, I actually used designer series paper. So this is some of the designer series paper that has the like the leaves in it, and I'm going to glue that down. And then this whole thing went on with some dimensionals to the top of my card, and I'm just going to use 2 here, 1 on each side, and I put that on at the very top. Now I wanted to show you too. So on my sample, I used the Evening Evergreen. On this one, I used Garden Green because that's what was on the table when I was getting prepped for my Facebook Live. But they both show up pretty good. I think I like this one a little bit better with it being the paper behind it. But I just wanted to show you how you can kind of make that work with different colors of ink. So if you don't always have the right color, you can still make things work with what you have. And then I also put these on with dimensionals as well. So I'm just going to put a dimensional here on the bottom and one here on the top. And this is going to go on down here. Whoops. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one right here. Hi, Luann. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put a dimensional here. And then that is going to kind of overlap right on top of that one. And then I topped it off with some of the green Genial Gems to kind of bring that to life a little bit. So I'm just going to pop a couple of those off. But don't these gems really go nice? I think these gems are like $7 in our annual catalog. And even though they're not part of the product suite, that they're not supposed to like actually go with this one, I still think that they look really, really nice with it and a good addition to add to it. So I'm just going to put one down here as well. So there is that awesome card with that one. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. So you can see the little bit of a difference between the different pots. But again, that is designer series paper. The only thing stamped on this card is the sentiment at the top, and that is from that potted plants. Actually, it's called Plentiful Plants. I get it all goofed up because it's called Plentiful Plants. The dies are called Perfect Plants, and then the whole product suite is called Bloom Where You're Planted or something like that. So I call it whatever I feel like calling it. I like to call it just the plants. How's that? So yeah, these gems sure do, Philomena. I agree. They go with so many things. So thank you, Kay, and thank you, Janet, and Cindy. So yeah, so that was card number 2 that I wanted to share with you. So the next card I'm going to share with you is, let me find it here. I'm trying to look at my time. We may have time to do 1 or 2 more. I've got 3 left, But if we don't get through them all, I'll show you what we don't get through. So the next one that I'm going to share and we're going to do together is this one. Again, I love this look to the whole plant. So for this one, I used some of that. This time I used the opposite side of the paper. So there's that piece that I used for the box, but this is the marble side, and I used that as one of the layers to my card. So for this, I used gray granite, and this is my card base, cut 5.5 by 8.5. And then I have the garden green that's cut 5 1/4 by 4, followed by that designer series paper that is 5 by 3 3/4. So this is just all going to get adhered together down to my card. Again, it's all cut 1/4 inch difference, so that way it'll have that great little border around the edge. And I'm just going to adhere that down. And then I used the layering circles. I'm telling you, I missed the circle punches. So if you have the circle punches, they will still work for you. But I used a couple of the layering circles. And again, you're going to want to pick 2 color or 2 sizes. It's hard to tell you what ones they are, but you're going to want to pick 2 color or 2 sizes that this will kind of fit on. And those I just adhered together. So one of them I cut out. The smaller one is cut in the gray granite. The larger one is cut in the garden green. Oops, and then I don't put them together right. I don't like my circles off-centered. And you're just going to adhere those together. And that's going to kind of pop because those are the colors that I used on my card in the first layer there. So those we're going to go ahead and put on with a couple of dimensionals, this little circle, and it's going to go near the top. And then we're going to assemble that plant. Thank you, Cindy, and thank you, Philomena. I'm glad you guys like my cards. It's always an awesome compliment. So this time I actually stamped the pot. So the first card that I shared with you, if you remember correctly, I simply cut out that pot using the cinnamon cider cardstock, but this time I actually stamped this using the stamp set. So it's the stamped image right down here. I stamped it using cinnamon cider and then cut it out with the Stamp Emboss die cut machine. So that way you can kind of see and get an idea of what it looks like stamped in the cinnamon cider. And then this I did in white, and you can see that this is a little bit crooked, and I was going to change it, and I thought, why bother? Because once I put this on and add everything else, no one's going to see it anyway. So keep that in mind. If you end up getting it a little bit crooked, no one is going to see it. So again, we're going to add some adhesive, again, not to the bottom or the top, just to the outline here. And in this, the little come on, glue. There we go. And yeah, you could absolutely stamp any color that you wanted to on that. Oh, the lattice. Hey, good catch. All right. She caught me. We didn't put the lattice on this. So we're going to put this off. It does come up. And if it rips your paper, it's okay, because mine did a little bit. Kay, you win brownie points. Yay. So we need to put the lattice down, because the lattice is what makes this card pop. So I'm going to add some glue again to those little dots. And no one's going to see that I tore my paper, just a smudge, because it is covered up by those circles. So anytime you think that us demonstrators don't make mistakes, look it, we always make mistakes. Always, always. Okay. Thank you, Kay. Kay saved the day. All right, so I'm just going to adhere this down again to the center. Trying to get that straight. And then we're going to add dimensionals again, because those dimensionals are not going to stick. So a little tip of the trade here: when you make a mistake, I leave the dimensionals on there. No one's going to see them. I know a lot of times if they're sticking in the way, I'll move them. But I'm just going to put my dimensionals in 2 other areas, because it's going to be just fine, and no one's going to see that those other ones might not be sticking good. Okay, now we are ready to glue this down to my pot. So I've already adhered some glue on there. I'm going to add a little bit more down here on the bottom. Okay. And then it's going to get put on here again, just like I did the last time. And this time I added some greenery. So what I did is I used the garden green cardstock, and I stamped using garden green, so you can kind of see the little look here. Now let me show you a different look. Another card that I created, I used the Whisper White or basic white cardstock and stamped with, oops, this one's stamped with garden green. And you can see that the different look that you get just by changing out your color of cardstock, okay? And so this, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive down here at the bottom of my flower pot on the back of it. Come on. This is a brand new one. Shouldn't be acting up on me like that. And then I adhered this to the back, like that. And you got a little bit of time to get it to be the way you want it. And then we're going to put dimensionals on that as well. And I'm going to actually cut up some of my little squares here. And I'm going to just put a couple of those on here. Oh, we'll do one over here too. All right, and then I'm going to pick off my backings. And that is going to get put onto my circle like that. Voila! Okay, now this layer or this label right here is one of the I think it's from the Tasteful Labels dies, and I just did my thank you very much, and I incorporated 2 colors of ink on that. So let me clean off my thank you ink or thank you stamp, because I know that it is dirty. It's got a different color of green on there. So let me bring in I may not have my garden green here, so I may just use my soft succulent. And again, improvise. If you don't have the right color of green, this is the neat thing. Any colors of green go nice with this. And I'm just gonna stamp my thank you up here at the top. Okay, and then using the cinnamon cider, let me bring in my cinnamon cider. I did the So Very Much off to the side. And it just kind of, I don't know, I like the color combination together on that. So let me find my So Very Much. So little tip for you guys, I usually take out all of my stamps that I'm going to be using and put them on blocks. And if I don't have enough blocks, I stick what I'm going to use on the opposite side so I can find it quicker when I do my Facebook Lives. Little things that I've learned along the way of doing my Facebook Lives. I was trying to think the other day how long I've been doing Facebook Lives with you all. It has been at least a couple years, if not longer, every Thursday night, and it has been so fun. So I've really enjoyed it, and I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in week after week. I really appreciate that. Okay, so there's our thank you so very much. And then I'll bring my card sample back in, and that's just going to get put on again with a couple of dimensionals onto the bottom of my card. Okay, and so what I'm going to do for my last 2, since we're coming up on 8 o'clock already, I think my stamp time with you guys goes faster and faster each week I do this. Oh, I did top it off with one of those Genial Gems here as well, okay? But there you have that awesome card right there. I just feel like it goes faster and faster all the time. But I want to share with you the last 2 cards that I created with this product suite. So this one right here, now this one, and again, when I do my cards and I create everything for you guys or show you how to use the product suite, or I should say show you the possibilities with the product suite, I really like to kind of give you an array of all the different things you can do. So, you know, one of the cards you saw that I stamped the pot. One of the cards you saw that I used just the die to cut out the pot. So for this one, I used the dies to cut out the pots from that piece of paper that I showed you earlier. So these are from, these 3 pots right here are from this piece of paper right here. Okay, again, no stamping on those. And the same with the little things that are in the little greenery that are in them. Those are not stamped either. The only thing stamped on this card is the You Touched My Heart. Now you're going to see that I incorporated some of that paper lattice down here. This time I cut it apart. So this time all I did was I took my scissors and using my paper snips, I took one of these and I cut it apart and then just cut off the little pieces to kind of make it look like it was square. And then I used the leftover piece on the second card that I'm going to be showing you right here, okay? Thank you, Cindy and Kay. I'm glad that you guys like these cards. So I got 2 cards out of one of these paper lattices. And so this one is all stamped. So this one, again, I stamped the pots. I stamped the flowers for the 2 different colors. I used Just Jade ink, Just Jade ink and Garden Green ink, and then the Cajun Craze for up here at the top. I also used the Cajun Craze for the card base, pairing it with the Evening Evergreen, and then I used some of that Designer Series paper that has like the brick look to it, to kind of pull from that, like it's sitting on a ledge or something like that. So those are the cards that I created to share with you tonight and that adorable little 3D project. Now again, any $35 order that you place from now through through Sunday night, you will receive 3 of these cards in the mail with that cute little 3D box that I shared with you earlier. This is also an online class. If you're interested in the class, you can get this class and make 10 of these cards. You'll get 5 different designs as you're seeing right here, and you will make 2 of each one of them. And again, love it. And then the final little project that I made at the very beginning was this cute little 2468 box. So anyway, I'll be putting the ordering link in the description of my video, or you can go to my website at kimsbasementbunch.com. There's a button right there to order online. Just message me, tell me that it's in conjunction with my Facebook Live to get my projects, or if you know that you want this class, you can message me and tell me that you want the class, and I'll make sure to get you get the registration link to you for it as well. So thank you all so very much, ladies. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Philomena and Janet and Catherine. I really appreciate you guys all tuning in tonight, and I really hope that you enjoyed this class. Like I said, this bundle was not one that I thought I needed, and I actually had one of my customers say to me, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what you create with that." In my head, I was thinking, I wasn't planning on getting it, but I have grown to love this, and it is probably, like I said, one of the most on-trend bundles that Stampin' Up! Has in the catalog right now. You see plants everywhere right now, and so after I created these cards, I simply fell in love with it, and I think it's going to be a good, popular bundle out of the catalog. So you could also order the bundle if it's something that you're interested in. If you really have to have the paper if you're going to get the stamp set, and you really need the whole bundle. The whole bundle is $65. It includes, again, the stamp set, it includes the dies, and it includes the paper lattice and a pack of the Designer Series paper, because that paper really goes with those dies, and it's what really makes this all come to life. So anyway, thank you all so very much for joining me. Hope you can tune in next Thursday for a revealing of some of the products. Okay, a lot of the products, because I went overboard just a little bit on my order. From the new upcoming holiday catalog, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some sneak peek products. And if I have an opportunity, maybe I'll even share with you a couple cards that I created using the new stuff as well. Thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful, if you're from the United States, hope you have a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Be safe, have fun, and God bless you all, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.